Good afternoon, everybody. Let's see. Cool. All right. What am I doing here? It's just, yeah. Let's get that going. So, I guess I'm gonna just kind of. That might be too loud. It's weird how that works. Sometimes the volume's good, sometimes it's not. What's up, Will? What's going on, Gina? Yeah, for now, I'm just gonna continue on with what I was doing yesterday. I got a bunch of stuff done. What'd I get to? Yeah, we finished most of the vegetation, the textures. I already have the weather. What I was planning to do today was to look at the difference between if I'm gonna run Ominous or maybe Silent Horizon EMB. That's what I had started for Endrel's play. But with the water issues, I'm not sure if it was up to the latest EMB binary, and I don't think that had any effect on it. Let me see here. But you never know. Sometimes it's small tweaks. Yeah, like this was just updated yesterday. Latest EMB binary. Changelogs. So this is version 7.1. Wow, okay, so Silent Horizon updated a lot. And you could see, well here, we'll go into some of the pictures. And I know some of these pictures are older. Hey, Wind. Welcome. So, that's what I was really gonna look at. Because I was really enjoying this. The only thing that I didn't like was that the water seemed a little off, and it was some of the water issues that I had earlier this year, where you could see very distinct lines. It was basically fixed for the two, like for all of Janice's play, and for all of Jaren's play, as far as I got with both of those guys. Now, obviously, I wasn't running this EMB and I wasn't running Ominous, but I really liked what I saw. It gave a really nice atmosphere. The lighting was good, and I even think I kept the EMB rain textures, the base ones. This was the thing I liked the best about it. I can still run Obsidian and, you know, get sort of that semi-realist EMB feel without going too far into the color spectrum, if that makes sense. Basically, darker hues, blues, and you can see pinks and purples, and obviously the sun looks like a sunset at this point here. But it offered a really wide variety. This is something I really liked about that EMB. That this is something Ominous doesn't really give you. You have some color to it, but yet you could still see the cloud covers. And in the background here, the mountains are pretty distinct. Any standing structures, I mean, this is in the foreground. I guess you could say foreground in this picture. Obviously the mountains here. Let's find another. I love the characters here too, by the way, that the author has up. And then of course the nights. Silent Horizons has some of the nicest nights, and then on, you know, bleak days like this, where this is like severely overcast, but it's not, you can't see in front of yourself Um, like obviously everything here would be considered foreground. Even the college is considered foreground, but you really can't. I mean, in between these two right here, if you look where the little hand cursor is, you could see that landmass with the Nordic ruin behind the college. It's faint. I can make it out. You guys might not be able to make it out as much on the screen, but you could see how there's some fogs on the mountain, but it doesn't seem like it's in view. I don't know if they cleared it up or they just made everything visible for the shot, or if this is a natural shot. Stuff like this. This is what I really loved about it, because colors like this just appealed to me personally. It's why I ran Cathedral Weathers and Semi-Realist, well, really a lot towards the beginning of this year, part of last year, even, up till pretty recently. But I love Obsidian Weathers, so you can combine them. I don't care about the... See, like right here. So you have a nice mix. There's blues, grays, there's almost pink, but it's it's the sun, and you can see the water and everything right here. This is just a fantastic shot. I know it's one of the places we all go to really test things, whether it's to look at trees, mountains, slide, landscape, mountains. I think I said mountains, right? Skies, clouds, sun, God rays, the reflection, if you're adjusting your reflection at all. Stuff like that. And with with Ominous, obviously you're not going to see this because it's going to be dreary all the time. The difference that I like with, let's see here, let's find a good one. This. So Silent Horizons, the God rays are prevalent. Very prevalent. I mean, this is, I think I showed this shot in a past stream. This in particular was one of my favorite shots that they have up on their page now. You could see the rays, and they're it's doing its thing. But you have everything here. You have your foliage, you have your flora, the water plants, the water itself, which lanterns, lampposts, and lanterns. Mountains, right? Some grass, right? You got your trees. Just a beautiful shot. And then, this is one of the other ones that I like too. So this is, to me, on the darker side, even though it's well lit for what it is, but you can tell that it's lighting coming through the clouds. Right here in particular, you can see it. You can see the sun, but yet everything's got that misty look to it. And the grass just looks fantastic. I may have to switch landscape and grass. I'm not really sure. Right now I have enhanced landscapes and I'm using the grass that's with that. So we may have to adjust Bethany a little bit as well. Hey Strudel. 45 hours, hey, I think you got... Did I get more sleep than you? I don't know. What's up, Scotty? I slept okay. I was telling Wind earlier, I said it was like a heavy sleep, but I wasn't in pain as much when I got up this morning, so I consider that a win. It's a win for me. So you still have like elements of, well, I don't want to say you have ominous elements because it's kind of taken out of another EMP, but that's what goes through my head when I look at stuff like this. It's got better cloud cover. And then these would be extra cloud textures, and then this is the obsidian fogs on the mountain here. It's hard to differentiate, but you can kind of tell. And obviously up here would be a mixture of both. Not a lot in the foreground going on, aside from the water and the water plants. But it'll look good. I still love the characters. I'd like to know what setup they use for these to get the characters like this. Yeah, see, this is what I love. Alright, I'm enough with the pictures. So let's see here. 417, yeah, there we go. And it's a big one. Giggity. 58 megabytes, 58.3 megabytes. Um, one of the larger ones. So on the description page too, I'm gonna try and see if I could replicate how I had it before. Because I know I had my Bethany set up differently for this one. There were features that I would normally leave off and let the E&B handle it. What's up, Tim? What's going on? So yeah, certain aspects of what I would normally have the E&B handle, where I'll normally turn God Rays off, I'll let my E&B handle most of that. I believe it's Silent Horizons I left it on. I'm gonna see. So NVIDIA, this is just for any tweaks. Let's see. Being able to improve snow. Ah, that's right. So they walk you through recommended any tweaks or necessary any tweaks. And I remember the last time I went over this page probably 10 times. Whether it was from going to what they do, what's obviously here, feature overview, right? Choose your style. And I usually like to use the medium or the full version of whatever the E&B offers, unless it offers one version, and then if they have recommended, I usually go by what they recommend. There's only certain things about E&B that I either turn on or off. I really don't go too much into adjusting them because I feel like the people that make them for specific weather and they have certain recommendations know best. Now I could play around with it and it would take up a lot of my time, and between actually setting up the load order, making sure that it's stable, it's just too much personally. So like I said, I usually just go with what they recommend. Depth of field. Go in your in-game, turn depth of slider all the way down. Right. The particle patch. I think this is the actual, I have the, yeah, okay, that's what that is. I already have that. I have E&B helper, and I have, obviously, the binary. Strongly recommend install the solar cleaner, can be found in the download section. Copy everything. Okay. Customization, quick start. See, so they'll walk you through, and not a lot do this. A lot to just tell you what, yeah. Tool wielding. Jeez. Oh my god, yep. It's a great sword to you. Some people refer to it as a warhammer. Probably would hurt if they called it a battle axe. That might be something different. Oh, Jesus. Let's see here. Yeah, so they go into real good detail with this. And you saw me turning the post pass on and off with Ominous. You were able to see how drastic of a change it made. To where it actually loses the effect of what that E&B is supposed to do. Right? It made things very clear. It was crystal clear with the post pass off. Right? But that was literally just, that wasn't me adjusting it, that was just turning it on, turning it off. I'm pretty sure that applies to most, but Ominous in particular, because of what that ENB does. So, and then of course these are all the add-ons. Anti-aliasing. Um, the vanilla FXAA should be avoided, even if it's a very cheap A method. Motion blur. Which one should you pick? See, this is something that I also have to remember to either write down or to take the text document from. My ENB settings. I always forget about it. I know it's usually just the mod list and the plugins, but if I find something that I like or something's tweaked the way that I like when it comes to the ENB, I really should at least pin them to myself or put them in with the mod list for like whatever character I'm going to be doing. I don't think I've done that yet at all with any of them. And it's really just one more document that goes with it, and I could pin them all. I could probably put them all in the same line and just pin one instead of pinning three, but you know. So, like I said, they go into great. How much longer is this? I remember this being a little bit smaller. Articles. Yeah, so this is one of the things I've been on the fence about. The ENB Dark Rain. It's not that the rain itself is black, it's just the effect that ENB has on the rain, but that's, you can just disable it and it looks like normal rain. So what I tend to do is, depending on how dark it is, if it's, you know, if it's raining at night, sometimes you can't see at all, even with the light. And it's because of the ENB rain, enable rain parameter, right, like it's talking right here. So I'll just sometimes shut it off, and then I'll check during the daytime if it's raining, or I'll force a rain condition. And, you know, it's at like noon or something where the sun's high in the sky, whatever. Just to turn it on and off there and see if I can go the game with it off. And of course, with this one now I'm using Wonders of Weather, so the rain that's falling isn't going to look like the... and even if I set the... was it? The rain's opaque effect to heavy with Wonders of Weather, it's still just going to look like clear for the splashes. Anyway, so we have this one. But what I'm going to start with is just the innies. But we need to install it first, don't we? Okay. So this is ominous right here. We could always get that one back if we decide to go with that one. And then Silent Horizons. So they put the optional folder on top. This is the base for Obsidian Weathers, right? So the cache folder, obviously, it'll generate that once you get in game. Some have 3, some already have the cache folder in there. Optional. Alright, we're going to start off with, because you can see Photo Studio add-on, and it tells you what it changes. So, textures, backgrounds. Oop, wrong one. Right there. But it would be, let's go back one. Let's go to optional. So you'd open that up. It's just an ENB series folder. It would overwrite this one here. So whatever this one does here for add-ons, right? There you go. So we'll leave it as it is right now. Let's just go back to the beginning. Let's close that out. And I can minimize that, and then let's maximize this again. So Skyrim preps, being able to improve snow equals 0. So that's this one here. Hard to see probably. We'll change that to 0. This one I think the anamorphic lens floor. I think I already have this set to 0. We'll take a look. Yep, okay, it's right here. It's this line here. So that's already at 0. And enable equals 0. That's this one, already 0. SAO CS enable equals 0. That one's right underneath it, that looks good. SAO enable. So they're all at 0. Okay, so they're good. BU 64-bit HDR render target equals 0. And even with this separated like it is, it's difficult even for me to look at it. You guys are probably seeing something that's way too tiny. Where is it? I'm probably staring right at it. That's display. Has a little effect on image quality, but costs a bunch of performance. 2 plus FPS on my system varies. Doesn't impact the ENB shaders, only the base game shaders. Okay. So I think everything's okay. I don't know why I can't find that. Maybe it's in a different section. Shadow distance. Oh, 64. Here it is. Yep. See, I was looking right at it. So that's at 0 as well. Right there. So we're good. We could save this configuration. Close it out. And let me shut off the music. I think I have. Let me just make sure my. Alright, so alternate start. Alright. So again, we don't have LODs run. We're really just going to take a look at the ENB itself. It's going to go black screen for you guys. And then we'll go from there. And then I have to remember to turn my depth of field all the way down because I think, and if I remember correctly with this one, it was the same way last time. My depth of field is usually on the other end. It all depends on how it looks. It's taking things and, you know, adjusting, going in game, coming back out. I think the most annoying thing about this entire process is the waiting to load, and then when you switch ENBs, you have to wait for the new ENB to, what does it say, compiling shaders. So, and this list isn't even finished. This isn't even close. I think I said I'm only at like 150 mods. I might be more than that. I'm not sure. You could run a light setup with a performance version of an ENB, and even that is going to look better than having extra mods installed to do the same effect. It really depends on what your flavor is. And I remember this too about Silent Horizons. Yeah, not responding. We'll give it another minute, I guess. Oh, there it goes. Finally. I'm the same way too. I won't touch them unless it's a recommended change by the author or authors, or if it's something that I know I don't like. Like, I don't play with bloom on usually. There we go. Okay. So we actually left off at a pretty good spot. Yep. Popped up finally. Hey, that means two things. Alright. So we'll see. Yeah, that's an immediate, noticeable difference. And I still didn't change my freaking... I have to go back and... I'll do that before the next one. So game settings, right? They said display. Wow, look at that. That's vanilla. I don't have a water mod in right now. Just FYI. Let's just so I can come back and do that again. So nice clear day. What time of day is it? It is almost 10 a.m. Let's see here. Let's turn my bloom off. Yeah, see, it almost doesn't matter. And there's the post-pass shader. You should be able to see it lighten up. But we're going to leave it on because this kind of does the opposite for Silent Horizons is what it did for Ominous. And then you can see there's the wall of fog that's usually surrounding Skyhaven Temple. It usually always lingers, but... Right? And even with the depth of field all the way off on the game, if I look at this tree, and then navigate over, see that? That's what I like to see. Now keep in mind LODs aren't run, and I'm going to have other ini settings that I need to tweak as well. And you'll notice like the mesh of the tree itself was, and the mountains will do it too, but most of the trees you'll see them almost glittering. So, of course, ours farmhouse. Right. I'd like to see it better in the sun if I could. I guess this side would be better, right? Hi, chicken. Well, let's do the test. I think we have all the map markers unlocked, and that's right. I have to go back and do the map again. Go to the Guardian Stones. Let's toggle God mode on just to be safe. Oh yeah, we have Forsworn gear. So this is the spot that what I was telling you guys about when you're testing, right? You come to the tip of this boat. You probably may or may not have the water lilies. Right here is where you can see the flow from this side over here, and the line kind of runs from, if you're looking where my cursor is, straight at an angle up towards me. It goes this way. And that's a vanilla game thing, so if you see it, don't be alarmed. It's just the water flow itself. You can correct it, but it's a pain in the butt. And then obviously over here it's a little more calm. So when I tab out of here, I'll see if I can line myself right up. See right in the center of my screen there? How on this side it's nice and calm, and this side here you can see the flow, but right there in the center you see it stop. And it's at an angle. If I back up a little bit, it's a little easier to see if you look right dead in the center. You could even see the coloration. Where this starts here, right? CC's carts, yeah, I do have it. Yep. I just want to show the other spot that's a noticeable issue. Oh wow, yeah. We got a fallen log this time. So some people noticed it on this time. I also had the issue myself. Wow, that's a nice addition. So right around here, let me actually jump on top of this because this is going to help. From this rock out here in the center, straight down vertically, on some games, but not all, and it's not EMB dependent, it's just a base game issue with or without realistic water. Sometimes, depending on if you've installed mods, taken mods out, I want to say it's something got baked in. I'm sure there's a better way to, you know, put that to terminology, but there's usually a line, and because I just did a clean install and I don't have a water mod installed yet, there's nothing there. It's nice and clear. You will see the LOD, however, where it's right up here, and that's because I don't have them run yet. So that's also vanilla. You can see it up top there. If I take it off, see how it's flowing, but then underneath it, it looks like it's still. That's normal. You can see it better from up top. Let's go to Riverwood. Yeah, and that's the thing. I may not run a water mod. Do you know what I mean? Like, I could run realistic water too. Oh, that does look nice. And these are the wood textures from... I'm trying to think. One of my tree mods gives me these wood textures. And I think they're really nice. They kind of fit into the theme of ours because if you're looking at, well, right here, and I think I might have pointed this out before, where my cursor is in the center here. You could see the weathered look, right? And then, of course, if you go back to the wood, it looks like the wood itself has been sitting out here. It's been chopped, but it's got the weathered look to it. I might have to switch. I'm using the dark side majestic. I might switch that to better match the road. Of course, the cobbles are going to change in every hold. So.
Are you feeling sick?
Oh, damn it, am I? I have God mode on, but I have rock joint. Bastard. Ah, well, whatever. So, yeah. So these are CC's carts. Now, obviously, they don't have the look of ours, and they don't have the little canopy. But I can actually loot them. That's the one thing I don't like about ours carts. is that it's all, like, everything that's in the cart is basically static at that point. They look fantastic. I think there's, yeah, there's one here. Right. Oh, Lanterns of Skyrim really... Nice. Get him, Stump.
They say the college has been snooping around Sartha. Mages are very active. No good thing coming of
I still think the Dark Side Mountains fit best. Can I get the chicken? Yeah. What's back here? Nothing? Is there a safe or something in there? No. Oh! Tell me there's collision. Yeah, see? So, like I said, with nothing run yet. It just looks like they're sitting there. So, but that's okay. Wind was curious about the wood textures. That writes itself. That writes itself. Let's look at the mushroom textures real quick. Yep. And I think Marius Thistle. Now, there's a noticeable performance difference with Silent Horizons versus most. And I'll bounce anywhere between... Did he just... Oh, here comes your buddy, who gave me rock joint. In your face. I want my arrows back. Or your canine meat, whatever. So it's just going to be a nice day. That's what it looks like. That's a good thing. Oh, I would like to see the rain. So you can see the different lanterns. The falling leaves, that's another. Although I don't know if that's... There we go. Look at that. It's hard, well, hard to see with the tree in the way, right? Just stare right at the sun. Yeah, there it is. Look at that. One thing you won't see with Ominous. The bigger trees here. Trees add-on as well, I have that in there. And because this character is going to be playing in third person, you could even see like the depth of field, but see in the distance, so wind. This is what I was talking about, those grass mods. So see here in the foreground. Now remember, I don't have LODs run, but if you look in the distance, you can see how green that is over there. And even some of the trees that probably you shouldn't be seeing. There's going to be trees that are going to pop in like crazy here as I get closer. And let's see where they start. Actually, I may have to adjust the depth of field. And I definitely have to tweak my grass. But you'll start to see them pop in. You can see, already see the trees over this side. Let me go back into first person, so it's not straining everybody's eye. Yeah, the grass needs to be, the density has to be tweaked. I haven't set up Bethany at all. Oh, meeting. Okay. Sorry. And the only thing that really stands out is right now Majestic Mountains being this dark. Ah, see everything's popping in? There you go. So I may switch to the normal Majestic Mountains. Alright, so here's the EMB. I'm not going to keep this off. We'll let it rain for a little bit. So what you can see Wonders of Weather working, the splashes. Little drips. It's, you know, little things like that that really make it. But you can see the difference in coloration between the rain and the droplets themselves. And what you can do is go into rain, and you could disable it so it'll look similar to the drops that are hitting the ground. Now if you don't care about something like that, perfectly fine, just leave EMB rain on, leave the effects on. It's really going to depend on, and you can see how wet he's looking already. You can see the effects without the EMB. That's what the EMB does to it as well. That's with it on. That's just a good example of that. I'm going to turn it back on. Wow. Myself. Let me, let's enable it. Because I don't think Silent Horizons is as dark as most of the other ones. Okay. And then of course we need to force the weather to be nice and clear again. Okay. So another, if you guys have played it, what I'm looking at right here has very good Enderal feel. It's the best way I can explain it. It feels like, it almost feels like Vivid Weathers. It feels like a nice mix of Vivid, Cathedral, Obsidian. I mean, there's a lot of things going on, and it's not the weather itself. It's the, oh, there you go, Wonders of Weather. You get the rainbow, right? And you see all the mix of colors. You see Obsidian Mountain Fogs working. What time of day is it? It is almost 6 p.m. So let's see where the pop-in starts. I mean, you can see Fort Greymore, but you're going to start seeing trees.
There's a nip in the air. Good for my crops. Never is.
Right there. There you go. There you go. That's what's really in my game. Right? There'll be more of them. You'll see other things pop in too. Once I tweak Bethany, that'll all disappear. You can see the smoke on the mountain over there. Khajiit. I don't even think I touched vegetation at all yet. I don't even have Hypoleon yet. So, that rainbow's still there, or is it gone? Oh, it's gone. I think. Yeah, it's gone. Is it? Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, the skin in the rain.
The longer we travel the roads, take a look.
Let's see here. Not that I need to sell him any of these things. Right? Oh, I could just touch the shrine. Warm sands, yes. We still have to do embers, fire. I don't have ELFX installed. I am going to go back to that. No ELE. Um, because I want it to be visible. I don't have my hanging moss replacer yet, but I do have the mushrooms. It's gonna be hard to see probably in here, but like Fly Amanita, the Bleeding Crown. I think there's others. Do a little F5 right here. I think we picked those on the way in. Yeah, you can see the meshes freaking out. Bethany really needs to be tweaked, so. And yeah, I still have to get to my structures, the banners, things like that. I haven't touched them yet. This is all, that's vanilla. So let's go ahead and wait. Ooh, let's see the nighttime while we're at it. So this is Silent Horizons now. Let's see if we can get up here. And we'll make it nice and clear if we can. So you have the Aurora. Wow, that's a lot of color. You can see how it's not too dark. If I take the EMB off, it would be the same. That's just Obsidian's Night right there. So it's pretty good. I like it. Okay. Let's go inside. I think that guy.
Up in the air.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Strudel. Yeah, the CMB really, like, once I saw it for the first time in my own game, I was sold. I can't say that about a lot of them. So if I take it off, I mean, to me, that's a noticeable difference. The wood textures become darker, the tree textures become darker. Most darker meshes, things like the shields, the signs. I don't think I have a sign miner. There we go. You got the God Rays coming through.
Good pieces out here if you're looking to buy. More inside.
Or it's trying to anyway. See, with my depth of field all the way off, and you can still see. I'm gonna have to adjust that because I can't play in first person. With this character, I won't be anyway. Well, I will a little bit. Interior settings if I need to. I have to fix that. We'll get to stuff like the tanning rack, the smelter, etc. Yeah. That's what I missed out of the old ones. When I was using other EMBs, they don't give you that nice effect. But it's dark where it needs to be. If a tree's blocking it out, you won't see it. And I don't have any Whiterun textures. This is what you're looking at is just Noble for the architecture. So you can see it makes even Noble look a lot better than it does.
How do you feel? You might be sick.
I am sick.
Staying out of trouble, Kingston.
Yeah, yeah. Going over here to pray to Talos. Am I cured? No, I still have Rock Giant. Son of a bitch.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the shrines don't cure you anymore.
Yes. Let me guess. Someone stole your sweet roll.
They did. All the sweet rolls.
I heard the gourmet is hiding out somewhere in Skyrim.
So,
You know, fellow who wrote the cookbook.
get that Akaviri sword out. There we go. So what Realistic Water 2 is going to do, let's see if I can get it at the right spot. So you see the flow. I guess it's flowing in this direction because of the way the water's coming down. Kind of, even with the EMB, you could still see that it sort of has like that plasticky look. If I take it off, you'll definitely notice it. It'll be all over the place, right? Cellophane. But it adjusts it. And this is, let's get closer. This is water flow. But you see how it's very, you know, hey, it's flowing right into the rock right there. Realistic Water 2 will adjust that. That's why I'm probably going to use it. I mean, it won't clean it up 100%, but it'll fix most of it. I could normally ignore stuff like that, but you see again here how the water flows out, and then if you're standing right about here, it kind of stops. Yeah. So Realistic Water 2 will fix that too. It's doing it right here as well. That's just normal. Hey, the skeleton's floating. Nice. Oh, I forgot about that this was added back here. Love to be able to jump up there. Hello, Juniper. So I think we'll use sigils for the banners. I didn't like it at first, and I've been running Design of the Nords most of the time. And I've used Ennead's banners. I like them all. It's hard to say, you know, what's going to fit good in one setup versus another. I think with this setup, sigils is probably the way to go. And I really think it's something like this, maybe. You could, you know, any of the three. I mean, let's be honest, any of them are going to look better than the vanilla ones. But, so, like, Whiterun's going to look a little more clean. Mostly, the cleanup that you're looking at is really just enhanced landscapes. So the bits of grass that are green. Stuff like this, right? And you see that all throughout the map. That's the cleanup that you're looking at. That's enhanced landscapes. If you get up close, I mean, you could obviously see the texture, but move away a little bit. Looks pretty good, right? Especially right there. And it kind of fills in gaps between green and brown. And you can see how it blends, but it doesn't blend fully. And you can see, well, you can see like right there, that's a sharp cutoff. Well, that's just a limitation. Do you know what I mean? We're not going to ever really be up close, but if I look at it from a distance, let me not sneak first. If I look at it from, say, right here, right? That's a good 20-footer, right? Not bad. Little things like that, you know? Let's go back up, let's take a look. See? Even back here, it does it. And that's what I like. And maybe for the cobblestones, I might go back in and I might add... Well, no, that might be too much, because then you'd have what Enhanced Landscape is doing right here, mixed with like the grassy moss and the cobblestones. We'll have to see. Which one are you? Master. There's Secunda. And that's the full 4K Skyforge Steel option from Stunning Statues. It actually fits in, well, what you're seeing for the wings is Majestic Mountains. So it's really about finding a nice combination. It's going to use your mountain textures. But if you click on it, if I can click on it, let me see if I can get closer. Yeah, see right there, Majestic Mountains for the wings. So light, dark. If you use the lighter versions, the wings are going to be lighter. But I like the nice contrast right there. And obviously the claws, or the talons, I guess. We really need to clean up the forges and the embers. And yep, no high poly coals yet. Not yet. We'll add them in. See, I think I'm going to stick with Silent Horizons for this.
It's a shame, isn't it?
I don't know. Doesn't look that bad to me.
You look tired, Fred. Apparently,
I'm here to buy comfort.
Alright, where's another place to go to? The Rift. Since my map is still... I'm going to switch maps. I think I'm going to go back to the classic. This is the Vivid map, but to me, honestly, it doesn't matter. I just want it to work and work right. It also could be because I have LOD stuff in and I don't have my LODs run, but... Alright, let's, where's the weather? What time of day is it? 2:30 in the afternoon, okay. Whoa, bushes. So you can now see all of the added foliage here in the Rift. Funny enough, I am 59 FPS. I also have to adjust my shadows. I haven't touched my shadows yet. Shadows, grass, depth of field. I can get him from here, I know I can. Little bastard, see him up there? Got him. Nope. I missed such a terrible shot with the bow. She spit at me. Oh, vanilla combat. Thanks. So you can see Rift and the Rift area in general, the trees, really fill. This would all be empty. This is all just normally a straight path. Let me take off my... Oh, am I still in combat? No. Okay. Without all the added foliage, but you can see what it does. It adds life everywhere. And that's kind of what I'm going for. There another wolf? Oh, he moved at the last second. Bastard. We'll have to fix enhanced blood textures again. Like I said, oh, he's really twitching. Look at that. You're dead, buddy. Let's try this. Let's do the settings. Display. Put depth of field around half. I'm curious to see how it'll affect. Yeah, as soon as I go into third person, you can see the pop in too. Okay, so that makes it a little more manageable. I'm going to tweak my effects. I've just, like I said, I'll have to stay in first person for this, so. Just easier to see a couple things. you're really enveloped. Like, it's going to really encourage exploration, because unless you're constantly looking at a map, you wouldn't know that the trail is supposed to. Well, it's over here. I missed it. Look at that. See? Okay. Let's go look at the lake. Probably be nicer if it was what they consider a clear day. It'd be even better if I ran my lots and didn't have all the pop in. And underwater's not, you know, bright, so. Let's go up this way. YouTube struggling with it? Damn it. Oh yeah, nothing inside there. Riften will look different though. And I thought Mari's was definitely the right way to go. These just fit the game. We'll obviously have to handle the sacks and...
Riften's under my protection.
Good.
You watch
Protect it.
yourself now.
I had another run-in with a thief's guild.
Be careful, Lou. The Thieves Guild has Maven
Vanilla.
Blackfire at its back. One snap of her fingers and you could end up in Riften jail. Worse.
They represent the reason I'm here. I can't just ignore them.
I'm
Back here, you
just
bastard.
don't want them to leave. You're the only good thing that's happened to this city in the
Don't want to
long
talk to
run.
him.
Get over here.
Nope.
I'm really getting tired of your excuses. When you borrowed from me, you said you'd pay it back on time.
You can see the little moths or gnats or whatever they are around the lamppost. Look at that.
Next time, keep your friends quiet.
I'm assuming that's what that is. Unless it's candle, unless it's like, you know, the effects of the candle, but nah, it looks like that's what that's supposed to be.
Danger here too, huh? All I care about is the gold. Everything else is your problem.
Yeah, you can see the mesh flicker. So, well, like I said, we'll take care of that. Little things. The hanging moss and the ivy. The moss will definitely be taken care of. Vanilla Brynjoth.
Vegetables as crisp as a winter's morning.
Nope.
Welcome to Riften, home of the Thieves Guild. So they'd have you believe it's all ice, just thuds.
Let's take a look at the back here. Where you get the nice... Alright, so it's a good thing I stayed with the purple from her Ellie version, and then you get the nice mix of the burgundy for the Nightshade. This is a really nice combination in my opinion. Especially back here. This is one of the most beautiful places. Oh. Morning Cloak. Don't know what that is. And of course, you know, clipping, but
I'm telling you.
the shrine's
they're
there.
Howling. Those werewolf tales are true.
They are. Who's that? Durham? Back here drinking all the wine. Oh yeah, he's vanilla. I haven't touched NPCs. Who's looking at me? You can't see me. I have 3 lockpicks. Oh, this way. Got it. Yeah.
I don't know you.
Oh,
You could pretend not to hear me all you want.
yeah, I don't hear you.
Better stay out of Blackbriar's business.
So shadows. Adjust the shadows. Adjust the grass. Adjust the depth of field. I should probably write this down. Oh, did I miss it? I missed it. Back up. By the orphanage here. Honor hall. And then of course we'll, you know, when the shields get taken care of, the banners will be taken care of. Really think Lanterns 2 was a nice addition. I'm always hesitant to use something that adds that much in, but I think in this case it was a pretty good idea.
They
Hello,
say the
guard.
college has been snooping around Sacktown. Mages are very
Alright, let's we didn't do anything for the college yet, so Winterhold doesn't have its textures yet. Windhelm, not yet. I didn't touch Hrothgar, I still have all that to do. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Okay. So let's do this. Let's quit out. Actually, where was my last? Let's just save over this one, because I'm going to be deleting these saves anyway. Okay, we'll back out of here. Okay. Thank you, Campfire, for always doing this to me. Yep. Even though I've adjusted this, done it every single time. So I think we'll stick with Silent Horizons. The EMB particle patch. Let's take a look. Alright, so particle patch is there. The ESP should be hidden. And the interface folder needs to be hidden. So we have that done. EMB helpers installed. We'll stick with this one. As much as I thought I was going to want Ominous, I think you get so much more with Silent Horizons. There is no difference in performance, just visuals, just what you see. Silent Horizons does require more tweaking, more adjusting, and you know, if you want to go into some more depth with the add-ons, absolutely. I think, do I still have the folder here? I think I should, right? Yeah. So under optional here, depth of field configs, I can go light, and it's literally, this is the ini, right? Depth of field. So I may use something like this. I may use like the light under optional for depth of field. There's a snow cover add-on. Right. So right here. And it tells you what it does. There's everything's right here for you. So I'm not sure what I'll take from the optional. Stylization Suite, the Photo Studio add-on. That's this right here. I know this is gonna look foreign. Even to me, it's a little, you know. But so we'll keep this one. We'll keep the optional. I'm gonna keep this up here next to each other just in case I need them as reference. Let's get back to what else was I doing? We'll try and yeah. I am too. So let's see, where'd I leave off? I left off with Ivy. I think it was before the interior. Yeah. So HD photorealistic Ivy. Meshes, architecture, farmhouse, stone wall. I think I did that already. Okay. Oh, let me just check out rallies. Because I'm not sure if it's in all things. It should be. Or it's separate. That is the Rallies Raven Rock. Rallies Hanging Moss. Let's look at all the things and see what's in here. Yep, Hanging Moss is included. So I'm considering just using this for a lot of stuff. I use most of it anyway. Sometimes I overwrite it, sometimes I don't. It's just gonna make things look better. You get your road signs in one. The what's it called? Shit. Water foam, I think. The honey pot, the totems, the instruments. Candles, skeleton key. Ooh, wow. Solstheim, Skaithcraw, the pillows. You get to choose all this. Oh man, 2. Yep. It's a pretty intense installer. I think Convenient Horses is going to make its way into my load order as well. I've been wanting to use that and have a need to actually travel by horse, so we're going to put that in as well. But it's not, we're not up to rallies yet, so okay, I don't even need the Hanging Moss. Just good that I got to see that. Okay. Reekling Outposts. Yep, okay. Probably close that down. So we won't do anything with distinct interiors or fixes or Whiterun interiors. We'll leave them alone. Like I said, I'm going to add some things in, but I'm not going to add a shit ton. We'll do the normal stuff. We'll tweak up the furniture. The replacer meshes. And then of course Gamwich. Static mesh 2K. I want this one. And then we'll go individual. We'll get CC's bar set, comfy dormer beds, rallies for the coffin, so I won't need that. Actually, let me just get these 2 installed right now. Get our base down. This is the replacer version. The retextured mage tables, yep. I always forget about this one. get the matching Tolter's Alembic. And we'll do... Do I want any optional files? I don't think I do. The Green Dragon and Marble. Nah, we don't need the optionals, right? Without any other file. Okay, so I don't need the map either. Optional rain barrel fix, that's right. So like I said, we're going 2K with everything. Cool. So this is the 2K. And the Alembic. Training dummies 2K. And the rain barrel fix. These are all going to be separate. So my physical mods loading in is going to be way higher than my plugins list. Right, we're still under Farmhouse, right? Did I download CC's? No, I didn't. I did not. 2K and the comfy dormer bed. This is just the one file. This is loose. Okay. These are going to go under right above the mage tables. We've got 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mods. Right? Let's look to see what's overriding what. Ours by the Ivy. Yep, that's right. Ivy by the patch. Everything else looks good. Okay, textures for clutter. So, we're gonna eventually put high poly in, and I'm gonna wind up moving it around based on what it touches. I used to use both the retext projects. I don't think I'm gonna need to. I'm gonna go with Rustic Clutter. Although, let me check Misk, because I think Misk is the one that... let me open them both up. Alright, so... Forgotten we're going to leave out, because we are going to use... this right here, let's see. 2K, 1K. Smaller. This is the, you know, where you start to manage your stuff. This is usually right around the place where I start to manage them a little bit. Do I really need everything 2K? Am I really going to look at 2K silverware? No, probably not. And then what we'll do for Misk is, you can see the size here. SMIM ingredients. Update files. Okay. So we'll take that as well. Third file, that get updated? 9th of March. Ah, you can see it's been a while since I've used it. Alright. Last month. Oh, almost 2 months ago. Okay. So Rustic Clutter Collection. Let's get that. And Mystery Text Project. It's a big one. And these are all going to get merged. You can merge the SMIM ingredients in with it. It's perfectly fine. Same with the quick fix. Cool. So only 2 there, but it looked like more work than it was. So with Rustic Clutter, it is going to overwrite SMIM, Ruins Clutter, Noble. Alright, so that one's fine. Then the Retext project, and if I refresh it, SMIM, looks like a lot here. Ruins Clutter, Solstheim Landscape. So you could see which ones, which textures it's overwriting, like the Ashiams, Trauma Root, Creep Cluster, the Ash clusters that you see over there, right? This is also overwriting Training Dummy, 2K Replacer. So this is the textures for it. That's why we took the meshes, right? So that one's fine. Strongbox, Shovel, okay. So yeah, these are normal. Bone Meal, Glow Dust, Ectoplasm, Mammoth Cheese, Moon Sugar, Salt, Sap, things in a dish. Stuff like that. That's perfectly fine. It's exactly what we want. HD Sax retextured. Or simple sax. I believe I used Type C. I like this version. Let me see here. Contains. So this is the full. But no ESP. Okay. Simple sax. Oh, nice. They have a different looking pattern to them. Vanilla. Oh, they do look pretty good. Look at that. Retexture with white flower label. Black flower label. That's a nice change right there, actually. It's the white label. There's the black label. Miscellaneous. See, it doesn't do too much. Okay. Let's use this one. I haven't used this one yet, I don't think. Nope. But I have used this one, so let me endorse that on the LE page. Always go back. If you like them, endorse them. Darshando. 27 megabytes for sax. That's a big one. Alright, let's pick. I'm gonna go 1K with these. I'm gonna pick the black label and install. And this should overwrite as well. Noble, Ruins Clutter, so not that much, that's good. Cool. The barrels. Buckets. All-in-one is a manual download. Let's see. So I usually take something like this. Because this, well, maybe something lighter to match ours. We'll have to see. So Woodway 1, 2, 3. There's 4. Yeah, Woodway 5. That looks pretty good. So we'll just pick Woodway 5. With moss. I like the moss. Although, Let's check out the description again. Nope. Okay. We'll go with 5 with moss. I'll endorse them both. Cool. So you can see how this gets into like the nitpick when you start to do things. I just like to go back and check sometimes that something doesn't get made redundant. Yeah, it shouldn't. I didn't think it would. Okay. I don't really do anything. Well, the bloody rags. I mean, they do look pretty terrible, right? Alright. I don't know if I've used this one yet, have I? Guess I have. Alright, we'll add it in. Sure. Guess that's the only one that does it. Okay. Not even handled by another mod. The lanterns we need to leave out because we already have that taken care of. Same with the horn candles. Rudy Misk. So there should be a lot in here. And we're also going to... rallies. Alright. I'm gonna download rallies first. We're gonna get the whole mod. It's almost a gig. This is rallies, all my preferred versions packed in one file, no installer. We're gonna grab the full, and then these are just optional. So I'm gonna let that load. What I usually normally do is I'll overwrite it with the Rudy HQ because it's just a couple simple things. I'll take the candles. This is where going back and forth is kind of tedious. Ants, black reach mushrooms, brooms, candles, city roof, draw knife. So you get the gold coin from rallies, right? So I won't need a coin replacer. I could, but there's one here. The moss I'll have, Highland cow and cowhide. So rallies lava's included with this. The manhole solitude, so I won't need my manhole cover. I could, replace it if I want to. The skeleton key, which is a really nice model. It's right here. It's beautiful. The vampire coffins, wall of kings. Okay. So nothing about pottery. Go green 2K for this one. Silverware for rustic silverware, or rustic silver collection. Or we could we'll leave rustic by itself. I don't really think I need that. Apples, tomatoes, potatoes, yep. We're going to overwrite this with high poly, so we don't need that. Rallies all the things. This is going to be a big boy. Alright. I've used this before, I think, right? Endorse. I've been trying to get... Yeah, I've already endorsed. Okay. I've been trying to go back and make sure I endorse all the mods that I've used. Ants, yes. You can see them right there. Rally's broom. We're gonna have a dirty broom. The draw knife. I think I took the new vanilla. There's a rootwood option too, which I think looks pretty nice. But I like the new vanilla look. It's like an ivory style, so we're gonna go with that. All the farming tools. So everything you see there, right? The hooks and saws. So I like the... Which one was it? The rusty with environmental map. So this is the default, this is the new vanilla. I like a little bit of color, we'll stay with the default. Looks like that guy right there. Instruments are going to be the default, new vanilla. We're going to take new vanilla 2K, because I like this. Manhole of Solitude. Manhole cobblestones, so that's the cobbles around it. That's just the manhole by itself. Let's just take the manhole by itself. Sewers patch, huh? Let's leave that alone. Let's go with the... I usually take new vanilla. Let's take the blue embroider this time. Give it a different look. Quill and inkwell. And the skeleton key. What did I take? The silver plated. Just copper desaturated. And just the copper. I like the silver. And we'll go 2K with that one. So you can make this Scathed Craw green. Just see real. Give me 1 second here, guys. Let me just. I got a message here. All right, should be good. Sorry about that. Okay. So this is where I'm trying to think of what my Soulstem landscape overhaul plus things like high poly, any Raven Rock textures, what that's going to look like too. Take the desaturated red. Werewolf totems 2K 1K. Water foam is going to be 2K. So I love the foam effect in there. Of course, the purple for the inside of the coffin. That's nothing says royalty like black and purple together. You can also have wooden brown, straight black, or the blue. I don't know why it's. Might be the coffin itself, but I like the purple on the inside. Nightingale clutter. I like this. The standing stone banners, cube stones, and the platforms. We're gonna take the default for the mosaic. Don't have Elysium Estate. Don't need it. Glowing mushrooms 2K. City install roofs. For Whiterun, Riften, and Solitude, we'll take these. Dark Brotherhood door. Windows and banners 2K. Yeah. Howling Cow. You're gonna win Colors Tomb. 2K. New Candle Flames. Reduce the glow. No, we're gonna keep the glow. Road signs 2K. And these are patches. I do have cutting room floor, but I want the 2K cutting room floor. Point the way I'm gonna need. Because I'm gonna take point the way. I'm gonna put point the way in next, so I don't forget about it. I don't think there's anything else. We want the Dark Elf furniture. There's a couple different versions. This is a 4K and 2K, but this is what it looks like. Rally's gold coin. So it defaults to Whiterun or Skyrim, right? But you can have Stormcloak, Solitude, Riften. So I run my own coin replacer, so I'm gonna choose none here. The fishing pole, something as simple as that, yep. And the hanging moss, we'll take the desaturated version. Flagon sign. I'm gonna go with carved. Enable, plug in to enable the sign. The Wall of Kings, it's selected by default. I like to leave that on. The lava is going to be, I'm going to choose 4K for the lava and install. That was a big one. It's going to override a lot of stuff. So let's activate it and see what it's overriding. 54 files. So the hanging moss in Misk Retext projects. Candle flames from various sources. Underground, Soulstem landscape. So there's my Dark Elf furniture. Noble, rustic windows. Mostly noble. Okay. So at this point I'll go back and I'll look to see if anything was made redundant. And then I'll tell me if I need to remove a mod or... No, everything looks good. Oh, wait, hold on. Yep, HD lava for Dawnguard. Okay. Can remove it. Or I could put it lower. I could have kept it and put it lower, but... It's to the point where if it's going to overwrite it like that, which one is going to take precedence? And then usually with those all-in-one mods, if they take the time to package them up like that, and of course it's a matter of personal taste. So I don't think anything else. That was it. That was a big one. Okay. Environmental structures and extras. I don't think I'd take anything here. Oh, hold border banners. And point the way. Hey. Where'd that go? It disappeared on me. So let's do this. We forgot about Rudy candles. So these are the Imperial candles. This is the green pottery. And the rest. Alright. I'm going to put these underneath rallies And I'm gonna go one by one to see. SMIM. These are for the Imperial candles. Alright, that one's good. The green pottery. The rustic collection. Particle patch. And the rest. The rest should be a lot. Oh, static mesh. And Ragnarok. Okay. Looks good. Okay. That's fine. We're good. Check my plugins. You can see not too many plugins, but we're over 200 mods right now, so that's pretty good. It feels like more than 200 to me, honestly. Extra touches. Yeah, the vanilla 4. Alright, so we are going with realistic water too. I'm not going to need the fix. Missives. Yes. And this is the JK's compatibility patch. And here's where combat comes in. So we're gonna create separator. So that's gonna be Wildcat. And we're gonna have mortal enemies. Damn it, come on. There we go. And I do believe I have a patch for some mortal enemies. I'm not sure. Let's go back and take a look. Yeah, for Growl. Okay. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. That should be all for combat. We're really gonna let organized bandits handle the rest of it. Difficulty is going to be handled. The character, like I said, the character is going to be kind of an amalgamation of I can't even say spell sword because he's going to be two-handed, but he's going to use magic and maybe the bow, as well as having all the survival elements put in there. So these are normally ones I always grab, and I go right up to Chantry. So we're gonna go 2K for everything again. Okay, this is a big file here. Then Halls of the Greybeards. We want the Hall Dark version, this one here. Thought I endorsed that. Okay. And High Hrothgar. 2K as well. And the Chantry. This is probably one of my favorite mods here for textures. 2 files from this. You want the base one and the LOD file. Alright, so good. Skyhaven STR2K. For Dawnguard Dark. Set that one. That one looks good. Smaller file, but there's more to it. If that makes sense. High Hrothgar. Oop, wrong one. 2K. Looks good. And Chantry of Winterhold. I'll leave it at that because that's gonna. The LOD is 2.0 for me. Okay. And then these are gonna be under here. They're all gonna overwrite something. Oh, Skyhaven. It's the only one that didn't. Just Noble. Should be the same thing, Noble. So there you go. Okay. Nightingale Circle we're not going to need for this. The tenets, these are all taken care of by rallies. Ancient to Ever Metal, yes. So we'll take the Automatons 2K. And Metal 2K. Keep forgetting it's up in the top there. CC Zorvanes, yep. Just the 2K. I'm surprised there's no 1K version of this, but... And the Iker barrels have a tiny little different look to them. So, I usually add it in. And for this one, now the stones, I'm going to select the gray ones. We'll take the brighter so they look like a glow effect. New textures, yep. Same with the stone color gray, new textures. We want to adapt Hearthfire to that. And I'd like an ESL version of this. Install it. The barrel itself is literally just one texture. Okay. This is for metal cages. I don't think I need this because that's going to be handled by other things. Alright. So like I said, we're going to go with Sigils of Skyrim. There's the banners and the shields. I'm going to grab both of them. And you can see the shields. It's a massive size difference, but I'm going to just make a note for myself to remind it to place it lower. I could place it into my armor category, or I can probably leave it here. I don't think I'm going to have anything else that's going to touch it. So these are the banners. These are the shields. Let's see here. Refresh. Should be everything. Anything else become redundant? I don't think so. Nope. Okay. I've used that before. Yep, and I've endorsed him. Alright. We already have Rally's road signs. Point the way would be here. But it's not going to matter. Placement with this isn't going to matter. You got cool weather, Gina? It's nice up here. It's mid-60s. I know you're not that far from me, but I guess that's what makes the difference. We had rain last night, but signs. Alright, so we're gonna go with WizKid signs. Love this mod. I didn't at first. I've come to love it. It's 460 megabytes. But man, are they good. What else here? We already have our manhole covered. Good. We're on shops and inns, which there's really nothing there. Player homes? Ooh. Well, you'll get to see that in a minute. Alright, we want movable by the wind. Yes. Signs for lanterns of Skyrim 2 users. Yes. Oh, that's right. Select this option if you have lanterns already installed. Yes. Interesting NPC patch. Custom sign for the House of Garment Shop in Riften. Okay. Okay. And I'm going to put this under shops and inns. Well, or signs. It should be signs. Look at the plugins that it added. Because I don't have interesting NPCs. Okay. So that'll leave an error right there. I'm going to leave it activated so I know that something's there and I know I can go back and take a look. Homes and contents. The Snow Elf hut. So like I said, this character is going to be a Snow Elf. You're a 72 wind. So I'm going to show you guys... Ooh, wrong one. Yeah. Visit on Nexus. What the hell I was doing. We will eventually have this as our home. It's larger than you think. I know, spoilers, right? I should have said that. Spoilers coming. You can see the staircase to the upper levels and lower levels. The claws, I would assume, the busts. Various things. Family compatible. And this is how big it is. Your entrance is up here. Yeah. Good size. Master bedroom's all the way down here. In the corner there's a pool. So, you know. Don't know if it counts as a bathhouse, but it's a pool. I thought it was pretty neat, so. Don't want to show you the exact location, although I'm sure you guys can go on the mod page and figure that out. You look neat, fits the theme. Yes, I am, Gina. I don't know if she comes with the home, but she's Snow Elf too. You can see with the eyes, unless she's character that the mod author just threw in there. That's what it looks like to me. I could be wrong. Trophy rooms. Yep. Alright, that's enough of that. Magic. Right? We're on magic. Apocalypse. Alright, 2 from here. Apocalypse and the Ordinator compatibility patch. Right? Yep, that's it. And then... 2 from here. FMR. Even if I don't use it, I always put it in my load order. And this is the Ordinator patch. Every time you like a mod and don't endorse, God kills a kitten. That's awesome. Which one did I need? Did I need the restoration tweaks? I don't think I did. Oh, okay. No, just the base version. Cool. I'm sorry, the first main file. I should probably clarify that. Apocalypse. Looks good. Install that. Apocalypse Ordinator patch. Looks good. FMR. Looks good. FMR Ordinator. Beautiful. Magic's installed. Okay. Did I endorse everything? I think I did. Yep. Am I adding other spells in here? I don't think so. More textures. Right. More textures. There's some that are just not made well, Gina. you have race compatibility, which is what you need for I think almost every good custom race mod on there. You just won't get bonuses from things like Imperious or anything like that, because that only affects the vanilla 10. But most custom race mods already have their own stats, their own racials, their own passives, their own most of them get like a special spell or something like that. I've used the Dremora overhaul on both PC and Xbox. That one's good by Daedra. I've used 2 different Dwemer, and there was only one Snow Elf one that works on Xbox fully, and I can't remember the name of it. As far as the other like weird race mods, like the what do you call them? They're like hybrids of a couple other things. I haven't used any of them. Most of them just don't fit the lore. But if it's something like in this case, obviously the Snow Elves were a prominent race. They're well documented throughout the lore. Same thing with the Dwemer. Neither's a vanilla race, but both of them are really well supported. So just make sure you have race compatibility. It should sort as a master file, I believe, if my memory serves me right. But check the mod pages too. Almost all of them are going to require it. The one that I'm using actually has race compatibility built into it, so it's nice. So let's see here, we're doing more textures. What does this overwrite? Noble. Cool. Yeah, you don't have to be afraid of using a separate race mod. Just it's if you haven't used it, it's a lot of testing, because you could get 10, 15, 20 hours in and have something break on you. That's the downside. Usually if you do some base testing for a couple hours yourself, it's fine. It's load order placement, making sure this is not conflicting with anything else. Just be careful with things like skins, because a lot of the custom races have their own skin. Excuse me, or it's built in. And I'm sitting right now as my coffee's going cold. I'm trying to think of what else. But there's other ones too. You see like the devil race, angel race ones that come with like wings. Now on PC you have the physics for them, which you won't have it on Xbox, so you don't have any way to generate it. There's other ones too that are like that, but let me see here. Okay, back. Sorry. Yeah, heating the coffee up. Trying to think here. We'll check out race mods in a little while, though. Hagraven House. Textures for Leatherhide. We'll check that one out, too. Textures for Leatherhide. Literally. So, I had this in one of the older plays, and somebody asked me about it, and I couldn't remember the name of the mod. This is what it is. It's an LE mod for the leather hide textures, but I think this is going to get, or at least some of the mod is going to overwrite. Yeah. Somebody had mentioned to me that they liked it. Let me see which version I did. I think I did the 1K alternative. And now I have to look again because I don't remember. No EMB. Oh, so yeah, the alternative was the one that I was looking. So it says right here. Duh, right in front of my face. It actually looks better with no EMB. I don't know which one they're using. So if you're not using an EMB, that's what the alternative looks like. And then Fluffy. Oh, Fluffy's kind of cool. Okay, I have to make a decision here. Leatherhead Fluffy. We'll go alternative. Alternative 1K. This is me pinching pennies. I take 4K for the Hagraven house, right? But 1K for my Leatherhide. Alright. More textures, yeah. Oh, so that does overwrite. Okay, so they both do. Hold on. Unofficial material fix. That one's fine. Rudy HQ Nordic Ruins, Leatherhide. Okay. So the fur tents, these are fun. These might actually overwrite too. But there's two here. There's wow, that's detailed. I mean, you could see the obvious difference here. I'm not sure if this is on console, Gina. We'll take both ones here because the Hunters for tent is a little bit different. It's the small Nord tent, so you need both of them if you want them. It's fine. Oh yeah, 130 megabytes just for tents, but we're going to be using tents, so. And this is the Hunter's Fur. Oop, data. There we go. Thank you. So this might override. This might make something redundant here, I have the feeling. Fur tent. No, it's not, surprisingly. Okay. And Iconics Woodfire. I believe there's an E and B setting you need to shut off, but I do like these. Endorse that. We'll just take the 1K for this. Fur bedrolls covered by I like Peltapalooza's version. I'll show you the difference though in case anybody was curious. They look like this. So, like I said, Peltapalooza already covers it. I like that version. I've used this version before, I think. Have I? Yeah. But last year. So let me endorse him anyway. This is Haladoon. Haladoon stuff is all real good. We're going to keep it off this one. This is for the Imperial tent. So this is the one from LE. Right? This is the before. These are the Imperial tents before. This is after. There's only 2 pictures for this. And now this is 2K Imperial tents retextured. This is the one that I use. This is a larger file. But it's very detailed. And that's what we're going for, without hopefully breaking my game. Which I'll probably manage to do anyway. I don't want the dirtier version because I think normally the Imperial soldiers would tend to be on the cleaner side with their tents. And that is going to overwrite Noble. Noble pretty much handles everything. If you see Noble keep popping up like that, that's because it literally touches almost everything in the game. For the I think it's like 2.5 gigabytes for everything. Because you have the update file for SMIM. Between static mesh and Noble itself, you're really set. It's just, I'm being nitpicky with my textures, as probably most of you guys are too. And I want this one to look fantastic. I don't want it to be just good. Even if I'm, because like I said, the gameplay with this character is going to be slower than a lot of the stuff you've seen me do. I think because of just the fact that I have Frostfall installed should tell you enough about what I hope to accomplish with this character. You haven't seen me play with Frostfall yet. I know this because I haven't used it yet on PC. I've used it a shit ton on Xbox, and I remember the first time I used it, I was like, "Oh, this is so great!" Thinking that all the other PC players that had been using it for years have been saying, "Oh, it's too tedious." But yeah, like I said, we're gonna keep the settings low for that, and nitpick little things like this. Alright, so Septum. So I actually have my own save. Where are they? These are my coin replacers. Okay. SCRR. Legendary Edition. Coin Replacer Redux. And then we want Skyrim. These are the fixes. Okay. And the zip archive goes right back in, gets saved. And as you can see, nothing else is going to touch this. Something Noble doesn't touch, but that's fine. Alright. Hey Win, where's the rest of the picture? I don't see the lower half. Damn it. Kidding. Not really. Jewelry. We're going to be running immersive jewelry. And now I have to remember what was conflicting with it. There was something else I had to run. That's okay. Let's do this. Let's open this up. Okay. We want open up the Summer Mist patch. Let me see here. Golden Waiting patch. I think this is it because I don't want my gold to have weight. We're already gonna be tedious enough with the needs and everything like that. So, and then immersive jewelry itself. Okay. 2 files here. Main and update. Then we want the summer mist patch. Did I endorse? I think I did. Yep. We want the summer mist patch, and I choose the unrestricted version. I don't like having my enchantments restricted to certain pieces of gear. Yep. So gold has been changed back to 0 weight, ingots to 1, bars to half, and tabs to a quarter. The gold bullion has been left alone. Make sure this mod is installed below or after. Immersive jewelry. Yes. Okay. Jewelry. Data. Beautiful. Take your time installing. I can't remember if it was something else that was conflicting with it. I'm gonna have to go back. I'll look at my notes, you know, when I'm off camera or on a break or something like that, but there was something else that was conflicting with it, and I can't really remember what it is. Damn, that's a lot of stuff. Okay. This is the update file. Just merge it, overwrite it, that's what that means. This is the unrestricted summer mist patch. And golden weight patch. Cool. Okay. These can go right under the coin replacers. And jewelry is overriding static mesh. The bronze map from the metals. That's fine. It should be Smith. Dear Diary. Oh, okay. Never mind. We could ignore that. I saw another one in here the other day I was looking at. I'm trying to remember where it was. Might have been this one. I think most of us have used Jay's Dragon Claws or have a version of it. This only has 5 pictures, but it looked pretty good. Whereas if you've seen Jay's before, you know that they're very ornate, very detailed. And I've used this before, and I may, like, Sapphire Claw just looks freaking fantastic. I may go back to it. And I wish there were more photos of this one, because this one just popped up. I don't know how, I was doing a search a couple days ago. I like that they separated the talons from the rest of the claw. And but it's pushed back so far that, like, even if I am right up against my monitor, I have kind of a hard time seeing the detail. I can tell that it's detailed by the texturing in there. I would have rather have it, like, you know, in my face like this to see. So when I say difference from the texturing, so this is significantly different with the talons, the claws themselves. As you can see right there, it's cut off. Ivory. And this is very detailed too. Here it's weathered with the symbols that you have to match up. But I don't think I've used this one yet. They look good sitting in a pedestal. Depending on what type of house you have or what type of, you know, where you're going to put them. Am I going to store them in the museum? Am I going to store them in my home? What do I think is going to look better? So I wish there was more than 5 pictures, but I'm not really sure. I haven't used this one yet. but I think I'm going to. We'll go back to Jay's real quick just to show you a comparison. Ivory Claw, the Ebony Claw, extra, golden. So, this is Sloth's Dragon Claws. Somebody remind me later to come back and endorse this because you have to wait 15 minutes to endorse. I think that's what it is, right? So I'm going to run this one. Alright, so if I refresh my page here, and if I go to hit endorse, error, you cannot rate a file within 15 minutes of downloading. So this is only for the first time. So if I wind up reusing this mod, you know, a month later, and I forgot that I didn't endorse it, I could just immediately come back and do that, or vote, you know. But we'll run this one. Oh, welcome back, Wind. Meeting done, everything good? It's all good. Ooh, that's overriding too. What's it overriding? Ruins Clutter. Okay, cool. Nice. Snazzy model ship, the only one in the game. Do I have an Elder Scroll mod? I don't think I do. Gotta get the model ship. Let me see here. I could have sworn Elder Scroll. Rewritten, that's Arvac. Okay. Yeah, no, I guess it's the only one. Boy. 4K, 2K. For this. These are important. And we'll take the 2K effects as well. Get the model ship installed. I'm sorry. I am waiting on Chinese to be delivered here. Cool. Huh, so nothing else touched the Elder Scrolls, huh? That's interesting. Interesting. We had pasta last night. We actually have some of it left over. I had the garlic shrimp pasta, and then we had regular. Oh, you could have breakfast anytime you want, Wind. Breakfast 24/7. HD instruments don't need. Already in Rallies All Things. Frescoes. But we're going to grab the different version. Because this is SSE. And I want 2019. These are a little more detailed. And this is also the one that's on, that I ported over to console. The complete, I want this one. There's the mosaics too. It's a little bit larger. And it changes the frescoes to be temple mosaics instead. Simple retexture, load after the main file. You choose in your mod sorting list rules. So, is that an ESP? Complete ESL. Hold on. Good to know. Yeah, it is. Who knew? I'll change that later. You didn't mean that. uh, this is where it's just nitpicky for me at this point with the textures. The gemstones are already going to look good. I don't need this, don't need this. The circular placer, don't need that. That's covered under immersive jewelry. Glorious doors. And the update. And we'll endorse it while it's downloading. What else do I need? Doors are done. Animated clutter. And we're actually gonna put this before the doors. Install everything. Put that right there. That should just overwrite some meshes, I think. Yep. Alright, glorious doors. We get to pick all these bad boys. Right? I think that's how that works. So 2K for Solitude. How dare you! 2K. Everything's gonna be 2K. Variants. I want the rotation fix. 2K for the home doors. Vindsvept Keep is 2K. Riften regular is 2K. Windhelm. Whiterun is going to be 2K. I want the reflective because with the sun hitting off that I want it to see. Dragon's Reach is going to be the same. The Ruins 2K, Ruin doors. Fortified and animated doors are 2K. Dwemer, install. Oh, you don't get the rotation working? Did you install and overwrite with the update file? Mechanized Dwemer door. And merge it. Yep. So there's two files, Wind. You need the main, this update file here. Plugin for the Dwemer door, overwrite main file. It's literally the fix. It never works. Works for me. There's no bugs. Let's see the posts. Has anybody posted recently about it? Does anybody know if the Dwemer door fits well with the ancient Dwemer metal? No, it's for textures. Open cities. Can't open the door into Kagrenzel. It's an old, well, it's not old post, but it's from earlier in the month. Has it been updated? No, March. Oh, really? That's all he said? Start a new game? They need you. Oh, the solitude door. Duh. Not enough coffee. It works in my game. I thought you were talking about the dormer door. My bad. Oh, that's gonna... Alright, so... We want the one from SSE. By Captain Chuckles. The BSA version. 2.1 gigabytes of immersiveness. The hotfix requires when the file contains only updated files. Bam. So like I said, I don't believe I'm going to be using alternate start as my start. I think it's going to be Skyrim Unbound for this character. So normally stuff like alternative locations for Live Another Life, I don't need this one. We're going to take this one. Winterhold mods compatibility with JK's. Alright, we need this one as well. What do we want here? Cutting room floor patch. Close that out. That's a big boy file too. That's what we need on here. We need me 6. Is there a way to get a... Oh, there's the way. They put bots on channels that periodically just spout off links and stuff like that. Let's get me 6 on here. This is the hotfix. Yep, merge that. This is Rumarn's Solstheim commentary. This is the Winterhold mods compatibility. This is CRF. Thank God they all look good. I hate having to set... Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Set the data directory. Now let's check my plugins. I haven't done this in a while. Where's alternate start? Alright, because we're using alternate start as a place marker. Alright, fair enough. It wants to be right there. Okay. Right? Probably should. The rest of my coffee... See, it does this. I have it set to a timer to stay on for X amount of time. Because I literally drink about a pot of coffee every morning. Into the... Well, it's the afternoon at this point, but I didn't wake up until about 9:30 a.m. my time. So, of course, I'm now resorting to reheating individual cups in the microwave because I am lazy. So that should be a good 20 seconds. And we're good. Okay. I'm also doing this to get up and stretch my back, guys. So instead of actually taking a break and doing that, because like I said, I wasn't in as much pain this morning. I'd like to keep it that way. And I know, you know, watching load order stuff is probably boring for the most part. It's still necessary for me to, especially if I'm doing something like this. I mean, it's not going to be a massive size list, but what are we at here? 105. We have 93 ESPs, we have 32 ESLs, and I think frescoes could be turned into a light as well, right? Let me just check. Because, I mean, there's a file there for it. I guess I could do it that way, but I'll show you how to convert it. For those that don't already know. Yeah, complete ESL version. So if you look in here, that's a light. But I'm going to do it myself. Xedit, run. Only select the mod you want, so right click, select none. Should be near the bottom somewhere. Frescoes. Hit OK. Let it do its thing. If I have any issues, I'll know it's on my end. And then after this we can go into game and we'll take a look and see what things look like now. I'll just kind of go to Whiterun and look around. See the changes to individual things that we've done, including the doors, things like that. Obviously the LODs are going to still look like shit, but, you know, building references. I think it's taken a lot longer than normally. Alright, finished. Cool. So you just expand it out, go to the file header, and it's going to be your record flags. You'll see this is an ESP. You want to change this to a light, so hit edit. It's going to give you the warning, and then there's your ESL flag. It'll change up top. So you see how it's bold, and now it's got an ESL flag. So that way when you exit, you save it, right? Save changes. You don't have to back up plugins or anything like that. Errors have occurred, at least one file is not saved. Template the divines. Oh, okay. Then maybe I will just take that. Okay. That's probably why the file was there in the first place. View. Okay. Well, there's a first for everything. 1000 overwrite mod, yep. Cache I don't need. Delete that. Well, I guess if I really want to get nitpicky with it, I could just... Nah, you know what? Screw it, we'll leave it alone. If I really get down to the wire, then I'll go back and do it. Yeah, it's one mod, doesn't matter. Okay. Just Alright. So this is from the offsite INPCs. You always want to grab the one from Nexus if you can, unless it's just not hosted there. I don't need immersive patrols. Any of these Solstein merchants. No. Weapons and armor. Yes, we are using a Midian-born. Because I like it. So we want armors. And get the blades patch for the armors. I can click that off. Then you want the weapons. You want the DLC. You want the unique items. And you want the content add-on. That's a lot of stuff, I know. We have a lot of work to do with these as well to get them, you know, how they're supposed to be. It's not as bad as you think. Armors. So armors installing. We're gonna, as they're loading, we're gonna let them do their thing. For such a beautiful day, my internet is slow. Go get foods. Okay, custom. Make sure you're gonna have to, for the other ones, you're gonna have to change this because this is all gonna default to armors because of the way that the installer is custom. Pick what you like. I like the white fur on most of my stuff. It shows you little pictures. Steel or none. Steel plate. Some only have one option. I like Cabal's cut. The fur armor. I like the Dark Elven. Dwarven, Ancient Nord. I like the original Orcish, not the brighter. Scaled brighter, I do like that one. The Wolf Gray Fur, as opposed to, that's the gray right there, as opposed to the brown. I like the gray fur. Glass, I like Thalmarized. Ebony is going to be golden. You want the blades and the Falmer. Install it. So I go by their recommendations here because this is an LE mod. Okay. So weapons and armor. Done. Get the patch for the blades. You can install this. But we're gonna do one other little step. We have to fix the meshes in NIF Optimizer. So I'm gonna minimize this. And open up NIF Optimizer. You guys, it's gonna be harder to see, probably. Let me minimize this. I'm gonna browse. I'm gonna point this to mods. So a Midian-born Book of Silence armors, right here. Open it up, highlight your meshes folder, select it. You'll see it's gonna pop up here. Leave all these as normal. Head parts only is literally just what it says. That's why it's in red. It's a warning for you. You're done. There's your log. Your meshes are now fine. You can keep that or delete that if you want. I'm going to close that back out. Move on to the next one. It's really that simple. The first time I looked at how to optimize meshes, I scratched my head for a good half hour. I didn't know what programs I needed to run, how I needed to direct things. It looks complicated for something that easy to do. You can go into more depth with it, but I find for the majority of the stuff that I do, that's it. That's all you really need. We have the blades patch. Weapons. Weapons should be the next one here. Okay, so you see it defaults to armors up top there. Make sure you change it to weapons. Go custom again. So this one, you're gonna have to select everything except for the Skyforge because for whatever reason on the LE version, unless it's been cleaned out or messed with in SSE Edit, the Skyforge stuff tends to crash when you go to equip it. Or pick them up, loot them, whatever. So choose everything but we use a Skyforge. I'm gonna use a Skyforge replacer anyway. So weapons, all but the Skyforge, and install. So this has some other things to do. Choose all options except for delete the meshes folder. I don't delete them, I always hide them. So put it up, activate it in the file tree, hide. Because you just want the textures for the weapons. Just like that. Whoa, that's weird. Okay. So what do we have? Dragonborn. That was really weird. And we need the bone mold hotfix. This gets overwritten by the content add-on though. I'm going to manually download it anyway. As well as the Staff of Magnus hotfix. While they're here, let me get these two out of the way. Here's the bone mold hotfix. Staff of Magnus hotfix. Okay. Go custom. Change the name. This is Dragonborn. And then it's the same installer. Just pick whichever you like. Black fur, brown fur. I like the white fur. The bone mold armor, the masks, hulking Draugr, Ash Spawn, Ash Guardians. Install. So with this one, we need the bone mold hotfix from Misk. So since I have that, it's on my desktop. There it is. Just make sure you set your directory. Data. Keep it underneath. Alright. And this is why I always hold the guide, because I can never remember what to do for which part here. File tree textures. Okay. Let's go into textures. So Ash becomes Ash Man. So rename it. And the Storm Atronach Ash, hide this one. You could delete it if you want to. But rename it and I'll show you why here. So if you open up the Ash, this was called Ash, but all of the files are called Ashman. So that's something that was maybe a conflict. I'm not sure if the name would conflict. And then from here, you just don't need this one at all. This is handled by something else. So, what else do we have? Unique items. Same thing. Change the name. Custom. Because you get choices here, so Savior's Hide or White Fur. I like White Fur in my game. Mirren's Razor. Volendrung. Sun's Armor. So for the Ebony Mail, I'm actually I chose Golden for the base Ebony Mail, or the Ebony Armor. This is the Ebony Mail, this is the Daedric one. I'm going to choose Ebony Mail Silver to make it stand out a little bit. Staff of Magnus, Dragon Priest Masks. Install. And then we're also going to need the Staff of Magnus hotfix. So for unique items, what does it tell us? File tree, meshes, delete, Staff of Magnus folder. Okay. File tree, meshes. There's the folder right there. So we have the hotfix already. Just hide it. That's all you have to do. You have one other step. Fix the meshes in If Optimizer. So, don't need these anymore. Delete them. If Optimizer. And you do the same thing, just hit browse, go to your mods, go to Amidian-born unique items, that's going to be this one here. Highlight the meshes folder, select it, optimize it. There is your text printout of what it did. If you want to read it, you can. It literally goes through everything with you and it tells you program finished at the end. Close out NIF Optimizer when you are finished. That mod is done, and the content add-on is going to be a couple steps. First of all, the name. I'm not using improved close face helms. You don't need that. If you are using it, use it. My character's not going to utilize a closed face helm. I don't care about the guards. I'm going to take care of them with other mods. So that's it. Just one extra thing that you don't need to include in with it. These are the add-on fixes. I don't think I need these. I do. Okay. And what does the guide say to do? Just fix the meshes in NIF Optimizer. Okay. Seems simple enough, right? Alright. So I have no errors. As soon as I tick this, I get an error. Because it's a Form 43 plugin. Because there is an ESP attached to that. Okay. So we have a couple steps to do. We have to fix our meshes first. So let's do that real quick. Browse, mods, and set to a Midian-born content add-on meshes folder. Select it, optimize it. So that's going to fix them for special edition. There is my printout. Close that out. I can delete this. We still have the Form 43 issue. Okay. Let's just get the fixes installed first here. Put this up. Alright. Open up your game folder. Open up your data folder. Open up a separate mods folder. Go to a Midian-born content add-on, not the fixes. So what I like to do is take meshes, scripts to, I don't know how important this is. So there's going to be 4 of them. Right? Keep them like that. You can minimize this one. Keep this one open if you need it. Start up your creation kit. Mine's probably going to take a while. I have a ton of stuff running. And it may actually have me log in, because I don't know if I did it yet. This is converting Form 43 to Form 44. Okay, good. Alright. Creation kit is up. The folder. So a Midian-born content. Tells you it's parent masters. We have everything, so just set it as active. And it's gonna load up in the CK. I always like to double check when this finishes just to make sure that the parent masters I saw on the right hand side are actually active. Sometimes with the creation kit it doesn't always activate all of them. I should say validating files or initializing references. They're forms, they're there. Okay. So if you go and you hit the folder one more time, it'll so Skyrim update and Dragonborn. Okay, I can cancel this out. Go to File, Save. This is a nice thing about the new log. It tells you everything. You're done. Close it out. Close out the stupid Bethesda launcher. Alright, reopen up your... So we want meshes, scripts, textures, animating more content. Bring them back over. Okay. And I like to keep my game folder back up where I have like my EMB, SKSE stuff. This you could just close down. So mod organizer. Yep, you can see the bone mold hotfix now. It's being overwritten by the content add-on. So we don't need that. Message is gone. Normally I have to refresh this. But now we have no more form 43. That's how you update. So for those of you looking to do conversions for yourself, not for distributing, I have to preface that. I'd like to find another one here. Nerevar's Cloaks of Skyrim. I think this is just textures. I actually use this one. I don't think there's an ESP to convert. Alright, bad example. Anyway. Okay. So you're done with the Midianborn. That's it. That's everything. You've now successfully textured everything that Cathedral Armory would have done in the push of one button. But now you have the Midianborn stuff, which I think is much better. Normally I'd run Cathedral Armory, and I'll show you the mod. Some of you may have... Ooh, God damn it. Go back. I'm going to have to research that. You may have seen most of it. Either you've used it, or you've seen me play with it. It's more of like a matte color to everything. Everything's very, very detailed. Maybe the best way to say is the colors are muted, sort of, I guess. I don't know. But if you want like a one-stop, and it does clothing, it does everything. There's two different Dwemer styles. I think the next one is, yeah. So I like this version. This is the one I actually picked. It was just a shame that I didn't get enough time in game with my last character to actually see a lot of it. And he obviously wasn't using heavy armor, so very detailed. Cloaks of Skyrim meshes very well with this mod. Ancient Nordic. Don't like the fact that there's really no other Elven. You have to overwrite this with your own Elven. It's just... I always hated this armor. I cannot stand this armor. Even in the vanilla game. Right? Like, it has to at least be a different color. I do not like this gold and, like, this style. I just get off the page. Ebony looks fantastic, as it should. But you see how I mean about the colors are detailed, but they're like a matte style. So, and obviously you could tell here with the Daedric. Anyway. What time is it? We can get rid of those. So the bone mold hotfix has been overwritten by content add-on. It is now redundant. I can remove it. What else do I want? Common clothes? Yep. And the patch. And then I have my own immersive armors. But we are going to get the Midianborn for immersive armors. So this is 2K for everything. Get the bigger file, trust me on this, you want the main file. This is a low resolution texture, but you need the main file anyway. Just stick with this one. This is the patch for weapons, armor, clothing, and clutter, and ace. We'll get to immersive armors in a minute. Alright, cool. Common clothes. That looks good. It's in BSA format. Awesome. And this is the patches. So Ace, CRF, and we have complete alchemy. So I get to choose them all. And does it? No, it doesn't. Okay. What's the next one? Immersive armors. Okay. So I have my own clean version of this already. Cleaned. Definitely saves you out from having to actually clean the file yourself, which is quite a pain in the butt. Not really a pain in the butt, it's just tedious. Make sure you change it to, so you know that it's male character. I have no need for the UMP support install. And then you want the immersive Amadian-born textures for immersive armors. You want the main file here. That's the only one that I use. So this is the Amadian-born. Yep. I don't think we need the README. What's that overwriting? Immersive jewelry. Oh, that could be why. I may have to drop immersive jewelry down a little bit. Yeah, it is. Look at this. Alright. Okay. I don't think it's gonna cause any major conflicts, but it's what you want to see. So, and in this case, I'm gonna want immersive jewelry to win over the armor itself. And this is just the fixes here. I'm kind of curious now as what the other ones were. I think just the earrings. Yeah. Oh, if it's just the male earrings, then I don't care. The creoles or whatever they're called. Then I don't really care about that. Heroic Imperial Amadian-born fix. Looks good. Just the textures for the... So you can see how I'll go down this rabbit hole of just what do I want. And alright, cloaks. We're gonna leave that alone for now. So everything's Amadian-born. Right? For now. And then we're gonna change some things later on. I'm probably going to do that off camera. Do anyone ever run Cloaks of Skyrim? Because we have winter is coming. Or not winter is coming, we have wet and cold installed. Now, what was the one that I ran? This is Cloaks of the Nords. This one. Cloaks of Skyrim HD SSE. I think I was showing this one off the other day. This is a high def version. The before and I mean this is just insane what this does. So we're gonna run this on top of Cloaks of Skyrim. You need it, it's a requirement. So think of it as it's bigger than the actual mod itself. Main version we want install. And it's 3:30 my time. I think after this I'm gonna call it quits. I'm gonna come back later tonight. I do want to eat. And I know it's boring watching load order stuff for the most part. Unless you guys just tuned in for the music, so definitely not for my voice. My voice is going right down the shitter today. We'll get through a couple. Well, I'll get through a couple more. Bandolier. Wow, I didn't endorse Bandolier. The hell am I doing with my life? Equipable tomes. This is going to... I would normally use this. However, because of some of the add-ons that I have, I know it's going to conflict. So I'm going to leave this out for this play. Normally I would leave it in. And I think this is actually going to be the last one because Lean Wolves is a big file and with different choices. So I'm going to save that for later on tonight, or I'll do it off camera. So, we're going to call it here for now. I'll come back to this later on tonight. If those of you guys are still around, you still want to watch me do some stuff. I just realized that I was going to put out a custom follower, and I realized that when I wiped clean, I forgot to pull out the ESP file. So it's gone, so I have to start that over again. But it wasn't anybody from Northern Kingdom. It was something. It was a completely different side project. Oh, you're welcome, Wind. Absolutely. So thanks, guys. I will hopefully see you later. Have a good one.